Oscar Isaac, who you're going to be talking about a little bit more in a second, and Jessica Chastain. And heavy, heavy like marriage story meets like Master of None type
Mm.
feel.
Master of
And I
None
think
season 3 in particular.
yeah, season three in particular. Especially with the final scene in the episode, which we'll get to. Um, this is based off of a Swedish show from the
Mm.
1970s,
From
which I think
Igmar
is pretty,
Bergman.
yeah, which I think is pretty interesting. To be bringing this back, Hagi Levy is the director, and Dave, I gotta say, I sit all day talking with people. That's just my job, pretty much. So shows like this or In Treatment never really appealed to me, just because it's like, oh, this stuff is hard
Mm.
and this is really uncomfortable a
My
lot of the
mom has
time.
always said the same stuff about anything related to her line of work too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
So
a common thought.
it wasn't totally my bag, but I think you can still look at the performances given by Isaac and Chastain, and in this episode we get Corey Stoll and
Mm.
Sunita Manny as well,
Right.
giving really really strong, like 15 minutes in the middle of the episode, and um, you can appreciate it even if it's not totally your thing. What did you think of the first episode?
Yeah, no, I totally agree, and I'm gonna keep watching it because it's 5 episodes. Thankfully, it's not like 8 or anything like that. And because it's 2 world-class talents in a miniseries, it's like and they're operating at a high level, they have good chemistry through 1 episode. It's like, I feel like I gotta see it through. But to your point, yeah, this is probably gonna be, like, the most tension-filled moments of Marriage Story the whole
Mhm.
time for 5 hours. That's a tough ask, That's not for everyone. I totally understand. And in the case of, like, Master Nun season 3, uh, you know, that was an uneven season. In this case, we're asking a lot of 2 A-list performers to kinda carry us through. Um, that Ingmar Bergman miniseries from the '70s, kinda revelatory at the time because the miniseries as a format was just not super popular. Now, of course, it's one of the most, accomplished ways for talent to get on screen, right? So, very different times we're in, but I think I'm just gonna hope it's not too unbearable. But yeah,
Yeah,
they're clearly gonna tear each other apart, and it's gonna be a tough hang.
yeah. Interesting. Just doing a little bit of research for this. Michelle Williams is a producer on this, an executive
Mm.
producer on this, and was originally supposed to play Chastain's character, has scheduling conflict, and I just think about that scene from Manchester by the Sea,
Oh
where
god.
her and Casey Affleck finally like talk and have like the breakdown. And if Michelle Williams had been in that role in the final scene in the doctor's office in this episode, I mean, Chastain totally destroyed me, but Michelle Williams might have actually like brought me to tears. Like not
Yeah.
that Chastain isn't as good of an actress, but I think Michelle Williams just hits those like deeper feels a little
Mhm.
bit more for some reason for me.
Yeah, in
But
general, this first episode I think has, like, some really great, like, long scenes, right? You have that interview scene really start us off with, Sunita Mani, who we know from
mhm,
Mr. Robot. Really like that. And then later on, after, like, the dinner stuff with Corey Stoll and all that, you get that really long scene in the bedroom
mhm,
when you find out she's pregnant and all that, and those long scenes, I think, just do a really good job to highlight the writing and give the
yeah,
performers time, because that's all it is, just talking. This was a show made during COVID, and maybe surprisingly reminds us every episode apparently that it was made during COVID because you see these like behind the scenes, I don't know, behind the scenes scenes of
yeah.
like Chastain walking onto set and everyone around her has a mask on. When I first saw it, I was like, is this like in the narrative? And then you realize, no, it's not. It's literally just behind the scenes work. I'm not sure what the choice was there, but everything else with the first episode I thought was really well done to convey what it is. And like
Yeah,
again, those long scenes are really good.
the writing feels so real, which is obviously a huge compliment when you can make dialogue that feels real. But the characters that they're talking about, whether it's Corey Stoll and Nicole Bahari's characters who are in an open marriage, and talking about the loss of the different relationships that they've had in their marriage and how that impacts their central marriage to things. And then Chastain trying to be there for her friend, and kind of judging her, but then kind of not judging her. And Oscar Isaac is this like intellectual who like over intellectualizes everything, and just comes across, I think, a bit like cold and distant at times. It's just so true to life. I feel like I know these characters, which uh is good, and like you said, kind of makes it even more unbearable at times. um yeah, I mean, I don't really have too many more thoughts on the show. I'm looking forward to it, even if
Mm.
it's going to be a brutal hour
Yeah,
every week.
yeah. A reunion for Oscar Isaac and Chastain. They of course played a married couple in A Most Violent Year, the film for 2014
Hmm.
and or 2015, and we're actually going to be getting more of both of them later this fall because Chastain is in The Eyes of Tammy Faye coming out
Hmm.
next week, and Oscar Isaac, of course, is in Dune. So I love both of
Oh,
these actors. So
uh,
let's go.
that just a little movie named Dune.
Yeah,
Uh,
let's go.
Eyes of Tammy Faye, Andrew Garfield comeback, second round of comeback, I'd say.
Come back, bro. He never left for me.
Mm.
Under the
He had
Silver
a little
Lake.
dip.
Let's go.
I mean, Spider Man was tough.